At this time, I think it'd be safe to say that many of us are sort of in the business of trying to wake people up. Why? Well, hopefully you also care about other people, but on top of that, we need numbers, right? We need more people to be awake so that we can start changing this sort of nightmare reality that some people are trying to create. But how do you do that? It's tough, right? First, some people can't be woken up because they actually don't want to be woken up. And there's nothing you can do about that. Got to recognize that. But others, look, they've just got a bubble. They've just got a shell. And you have to find a way to pierce it, find a way to penetrate it, right? So let's think about what do we know about this sort of thing, okay? Because as above, so below. What's on the right is somewhere on the left. You know, you keep going this way, eventually you'll find yourself over here, right? So in nature, if we wanted to penetrate a shell, it would be foolish, right? This will be our shell wall, if you will. It would be foolish to take a broad, blunt object and try to get through it that way. That's, no. What we need is something pointed, something focused, something to focus our force and effort so that it can penetrate the bubble, the shell wall, okay? So that's what I want to try to help you identify here, all right? I'm going to just throw this one out there. I hope to hear back from people with ideas of other topics to sort of laser beam focus on, all right? Because again, I want to give you guys tools with which to wake up other people. Without further ado, I hope this video will be useful for you to maybe share with other people and potentially penetrate their bubble, all right? You'll maybe want to link it, you know, like at the place where I'm done talking about everything I just said, pretty much right here. We want to free people's minds.
I don't believe it.
I know what you're trying to do.
I'm trying to free your mind, Neo, but I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.
So how do we go about doing that, right? Well, let's take 9/11. I think more people have told me that 9/11 is what woke them up than any other single thing. What do you mean? Well, 9/11 is more than a mouthful at this point in time. So we're going to laser focus, okay, tip of the spear, edge of the sword, and bring it to bear on the bubble that you or someone you love may be living in. So let's take the low-hanging fruit. Forget about all of the alien ideas and missiles and who did this with the hijacker and the flight school and all. Forget it. Laser focus. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. Forget everything else. Yeah, whatever you say. Whatever you say. World Trade Center Tower 1, they both fell straight down. It's no problem. Yep, no problem. Papers and phones melted the steel. No problem. What happened in Pennsylvania? Because if you take a look at what happened in Pennsylvania, it frickin' doesn't make any sense, and you don't even need a scientist to understand that. You just need your own two eyes, and you just need to not lie to yourself. That's all you need to do, people. That's all you need to do. Okay, take a look. Okay, History Channel. Doesn't get much more mainstream than that, right? This is their photo that they've got on their History Channel website. You know, you can read it if you want, but that's not the point. Look at this photo. This is a plane crash site. Not just any plane crash site. This is where Flight United 93 supposedly crashed. Okay? Take a look. See what there is to be seen. Let's have a gander at another one, right? Okay. Alrighty. So if you're like me, you're wondering where are the chunks of airplane and the bodies and the luggage, right? Now, I'm sure that you were probably told that the jet fuel vaporized them, right? But understand what it means to have something vaporized. It means that something has turned to vapor, like vapor, right? It's gone, vaporized. So we're talking about what materials are we talking about, okay? Because you could say, yeah, things vaporize. Absolutely, they do. You burn wood and it can vaporize. There'll be a little bit of ash left and the rest is vaporized. How about aluminum? How about titanium? Okay, because those are the metals involved in the aircraft that supposedly crashed there. How about human bones? okay? And the various bits of luggage that people brought with them of, just assorted materials, okay? Some of which would definitely leave residue, the plastics and whatnot, many of the harder resins, right? Forget that. Maybe you just can't see it. Maybe the photo's not high enough resolution, right? I'm a skeptic too. That's my favorite S word. Skeptic. Maybe not. But still, I like to be skeptical. So let's take a look at some other plane crash sites and see what does it look like when things get vaporized, because apparently that's what happens when planes crash into the ground. Oh man. Well, this guy's hand sure didn't get vaporized. It's right there. You can see it. This, by the way, is the MH whatever it was, 17, that Malaysia Airlines flight that got shot down, fell down, whatever the hell happened to it over the Ukraine years ago, okay? So similar craft, and as you can see, chunks of aluminum, chunks of, not in this case, not even bones, but the flesh is left, okay? So let's have a look at another one. Wow, talk about chunks of airplane, huh? I don't even need to say anything else about that one, do I? Let's look at that from another angle. Oh, look, boxes, cardboard boxes at that. Things that you would expect might vaporize. I'm not going to waste any more time on this. Those are what plane crashes look like. You can go online and search plane crash site if you want to see more. This is not difficult, fellas. This is not difficult. If you haven't taken the time to do this, shame on you. You relied on the television to bring you everything that you need? So let's move on, okay? That's enough right there. That's enough right there. You should be questioning, what have I been told and why did I believe it all without question? But let's go one tiny little step further because this is another tip of the spear. This is another thing that you do not need to be a scientist to understand. Okay? And I realize people will say, oh, well, that's been debunked and this has been debunked and oh, but so-and-so said this and so-and-so said that. Forget all of that nonsense. Use your own brain. Think for yourself. What do you see when you look at these photos? When you look at that hole in the Pennsylvania field, do you see a plane crash site? Or do you see something else? I'm not telling you that you've got the answer. I'm telling you that you've got the question. Understand? There's a big difference between having the question and having the answer. I don't have the answer. I don't know what happened. I know what didn't happen, so my question is what the hell happened? Because I know what didn't happen. Plane did not crash in that little crater. There's no evidence of it. There's no body. There's no luggage. There's no metal. I rest my case. So World Trade Center 7. Now you'd be forgiven if you were like scratching your head. World Trade Center 7? What? Yeah, because even though it's right there in the graphic, okay, of the World Trade Center complex, you were pretty much asked to forget about it because, look, it doesn't fit the narrative of what happened. This was a building that was not hit by a plane. It was not hit by a plane, okay? And it fell straight down that same afternoon that the towers fell down, okay? So as far as anything anyone has to say about why the towers collapsed, sure, yeah, whatever you say. We're not even going to talk about it. What the hell happened to World Trade Center 7? Didn't get hit by a plane, wasn't hardly on fire, fell straight down that afternoon. Again, I don't have the answer, but I got the question. Have you been asking that question? You've been scratching at that? Why? You might say, why? Why would I bother to look at this and say, okay, great, there's a building that's really on fire and it's still standing. Oh, but Tower 7 just fell down. Why do I care? Okay, yeah, little office fire and then it collapsed. Why do I care? Okay, the only building out of all these other raging infernos, okay, and down here this dinky little, two isolated pockets of fire, to use the words of one of the firefighters that was there, that falls straight down. What the hell happened? Okay, and why do I care? I'm going to tell you why you care. Okay, I'm going to tell you why you care right now. Because what this means is that if it is true that you've not been given the answer to that question, then what it means is you've been lied to, okay? Because you have been answered, but that doesn't mean you've been given the answer, okay? The answer is what the hell happened here, okay? And what you were told, look, hopefully you remember what you were told, but I'll tell you what, that 9/11 Commission report, didn't tell you squat about World Trade Center 7, okay? Go ahead and look. Yeah, it's huge. I've gone through the whole thing. They do not talk about World Trade Center Building 7 in the 9/11 Commission report. This, of course, is an official report that's supposed to tell you what happened. And if we have questions, just, frankly acknowledge that we still have questions. Oh, no. They don't even ask the question. You understand? It's not in there. Have you got any questions? You should have questions. All right. And what you need to take away from this is the government and the media lie to you. Okay? Again, I'm not telling you I've got the answers. I'm telling you I got the question. And they've not answered these questions. They've pretended to. They've lied to you. That's all you need to understand out of this. That's all you need to understand. That's it. Because again, this is the tip of the spear here. This is just poking through the bubble you done put yourself in. All right? You look at this and you understand you've been lied to. What happens next? Can you trust these people on other topics? I'm not going to sit here and tell you that every single thing that they say is a lie, but you got to look at this and you have to understand one thing. They can and will lie to you, and we can't even talk about exactly why. Because the lies stack up and you just don't know what their motivations are. So, with that having been said, I hope you take a look at this. I hope you really think about it. Really think about it and ask some hard questions. And if you don't know why any of this matters, if you don't know why seeking the truth matters, first of all, you probably didn't make it through this video. But second of all, you know what? Go be asleep, okay? Because that should be self-explanatory, why you want the truth, all right? And now I guess the last thought is recognize, how did we come to this? How did we come to this that we can be lied to so blatantly and obviously and just roll with it? How did we come to this? Television. You don't understand what television is. It's an electromagnetic device that changes your electromagnetic device, or maybe the function, better said, of your electromagnetic device. Right? That's what it does. The programming, right? Okay, I mean, look, this is all old news, and you got to wake up if it's the first time you're hearing this. Okay? Television. Do you understand how powerful?
You look pissed, Ben. But hey, will you just let me explain? This is television, that's all it is. It's nothing to do with people, it's to do with the ratings. For 50 years, we've told them what to eat, what to drink, what to wear. For Christ's sake, Ben, don't you understand? Americans love television. They wean their kids on it. So what do? We give them what they want. We're number one, Ben. That's all that counts. Believe me, I've been in the business 30 years.
Well, I haven't been in...
You better watch your kids. You better watch yourself. There are things going on that you really need to wake up to. The person that shared this with you, if this has been shared with you, they care about you. And truth matters. And they want you to have that. Welcome to the Awakened, for those of you who've actually been paying attention.
Well, I haven't been in show business as long as you have, Killian. But I'm a quick learner. So I'm going to give the audience what I think they want.